What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blazer King with King's Critiques for Botan Kamiina Fully Blossoms When Drunk, which I think is the of-age Yuri show of the season. I think there's at least one more, but I couldn't see it on, the schedule thing I use. And I wanted to check out at least the first episode of this just to make sure I am correct that it is that show. I will be browsing Facebook later to see if any memes pop up for any more recommendations for me in the Yuri category that I could upload for the rest of June. Because Bad Girl and another show are going to be coming to an end at probably about the halfway point of the month. So I figure I may as well get at least one other show to completion. I have older shows that I need to finish still, but I at least wanted to start this to see if it's the correct one that I was going for. So, that being said, usual things, hit the like button, subscribe to whatever else you want to, follow whatever you want to, you'll be reminded at the end of the episode, and hopefully this is some more fun Yuri stuff that I can gush over without being looked at weird. Now listen, a lot of people leave some weird comments on my TikTok videos, and listen, I get how it seems, I get how it sounds, but also you can ligma. That being said, as I said, hit the like button and let the whole video run through and we'll get the watch time because it's highly appreciated and good for the algorithm. Let's get into it though. Oh, and of course the thing about if there's an intro and outro, we leave it running for the sake of the Patreon because it's respectful to do for the first and last episodes of the season. I'm gonna guess she's the one that just walked away from everything. Wow, judging someone based on their appearance? Rude. Oh, and how old was she? Yeah, she's in her 20s. She's definitely old enough to drink. And she was not expecting to have a coworker, classmate, track her down while she's drinking. Damn. And she just spoke out loud that the booze look good. Hey, wanna try some? I read it as Camila, didn't it? Or didn't I? Oops. What I will say is, this is definitely the kind of vibe for the show I was waiting to upload for the rest of June. Is it too much to assume because of that? Listen, if any of the characters does this kind of wave, we know. Wait, that's more of a Spock. Yeah, there we go. Early trauma unveiled in the beginning of the season. This bitch had been drinking in public before and somebody judged her for how she reacts to it. I see her problem. See, as a first-year college student in Asia, is she legal to drink? I would think so. The ages for drinking is weird places, because, in Europe for many years, didn't they just, not give a shit as long as you didn't give babies or toddlers alcohol? But nowadays, I don't think it's quite the same, but what is it for Asia? I would assume 21, but I think it's, 18 at least, so that means she would be in the clear, I think. The cases where they actually bring it up are often the cases where they might be interested. I'm just saying, anytime they brought that shit up in anime before, usually it's the intended couple bringing it up, so. You say she's pretty considerate, and here she is finishing off your drink. Also, I just realized, for the first time in a long time, I'm not actually wearing an appropriate shirt to be watching Yuri content. And when I go to binge the series, I'll fix it. I've only done it for one binge, and that was only a show that has 5-minute episodes, so it wasn't worth it. Which, on topic of that show, I don't know if I'm gonna upload a little teaser or anything, so subscribe to the Patreon because we're gonna upload a bunch of Patreon exclusive stuff soon. I knew something like that was coming from her lips, and that's why I waited to be able to pause, because I knew something like that was coming. We knew this had the Yuri vibes to it from the beginning, and cementing it more so in the first 10 minutes of episode 1. We love that. Damn, she's being very direct. Who else? The fact I literally just asked that when she asked if she would join her for tea is crazy. But then again, I have a mindset for that kind of shit. Very obvious, but... Okay, listen, as far as her clothes being, scattered and not really in a specific place, I kinda get how that goes. But at least I do better about it than I used to. There were clothes on the floor, but those are mostly for donation's sake. I really need to just figure, a better place to put those. But, Yeah, on topic, maybe one of the things I'll do today is put away my clean clothes where they belong. This is probably the only episode of this I'll actually watch today, and maybe do some binging later in the week. But she changed into shorts, or did she have shorts on? She's just hiding something, and I'm an idiot. Probably that. Comment down below. Am I an idiot? Instead of tea, they're gonna drink together. I mean, hey, already a good sign because she usually prefers drinking by herself. So, opening up to someone new is a good sign, especially if it's their first time meeting the other day when she asked her for alcohol. And she's just judging. She's like, I said we were having tea and you bring wine. Bitch, you know I can't say no to that. Okay, I know this is a base take, but if we actually get to see them kiss every once in a while, I think that will probably rank this pretty high for me, honestly. Especially because of the whole, again, it being closer to of age, and therefore morally alright thing for me to be finding fascinating. Which, again, similarly on topic, there's things in that regard that are being uploaded to Patreon soon. Maybe not by the time this is uploaded, maybe before this is uploaded. I don't know, we'll see. Go subscribe and find out. Yeah, that's the way you meant it. Totally. Meanwhile, one of their housemates comes home and sees them bickering like this. Is this going to be one of those things where she's going to assume it's something it's not? Yet. And that last one's going to ring through here is wait, you were doing what now? The look of utter shock on her face, I'm sorry, this bitch drinks with nobody else. What do you mean you were drinking with her? Yeah, just letting it out of habit. That happens. Honestly, I'm not a smoker in that kind of case, but listen, there have been a few times I've been in a public place and just situations have had me itching my pocket because I knew I had something on me, and I was like, not in public, not in public, not in public, can't do that in public. Though at least the world is growing more used to it, so I feel less weird about it doing certain. I feel less weird about doing it in certain places. I got a bunch of concerts going on this season. It's gonna be a good ass time. Okay, but why does what she's saying actually kind of make some sort of sense? When you see a hot person smoking, it kind of works. Matter of fact, one of those things I'll refer to, at least in the case of anime, is Dress Up Darling, when they introduced Akira in season 2. For some reason, it works for her. Oh, are you gonna drink with her too and see how almost flirty she is? Of course, she's the one who's gonna pay. Didn't the other one bring out a bottle of wine just a few moments ago? Am I crazy? Nope, you can't drink anything that's in the shelf. Damn! That's a lot of booze for one girl. I highly doubt Ibuki might care if you take one. Specifically, if you take one. Sake. Man, in just the course of 2 or 3 days, she's experienced so much alcohol. She kind of reminds me of that one chick from World's End Harem, which, real quick, I will bring up, while I don't like harem-based shows, I do like harem-based shows that at least show things. So my question is, are we ever getting a season 2 of that? Because, the plot of that was leading into maybe we'll get a season 2. And I've heard nothing. She's an even worse drunk than Ibuki. you drank almost the entire thing. Fuck yeah. I'm not even done with my second one. What do you mean more? You've drank 7. To some extent, you were probably correct. The fact that her drunk ass didn't call it jealousy is a bigger surprise. She, in this instance, is actually kind of reminding me of the chick from New Game, which we're season 3 of that on top of Yuri. We had the main, one of the 2 main and expected couples of the show become canon, and then we haven't seen more of it. I find that a crime. And yet, shit like Rena Girlfriend is on season 5. Take this Drek that sure has a couple of hot girls and it's well animated, crumple it up, throw it away, and bring back some good stuff. She has that whole thing full of alcohol in the other room, and there's at least like 4 different bottles in her room. And her drunk ass is thinking of this now. We love progression. Thinking about that, though, that's a whole other level of, she's thinking a little too much into it. But also, maybe within a couple of episodes, some drunk smooching. Gonna leave it on the intro to the second episode, because that's probably where I'm gonna end my recording session, at least for the time being. Because, I want to wear the proper attire for more Yuri-based content. And as far as Yuri-based content goes, this has already been great from the first episode. It shows a lot of what's going to happen, what people might want to happen. It has a lot of that teasing stuff in it. It showed the personalities of a few different characters, and we appreciate that. We love that. So, what I can definitely say I hope happens from here, other than, the obvious slice of life, silliness of Botan getting closer to her flatmates, housemates, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And at least some kind of kiss by the end. It could be one kiss just in general between Iduki and Botan, because obviously they're the main couple of the thing. But hey, maybe a drunken smooch between a couple of them at some point would be cool. We almost got that here. But, with things like this, I do like to see more than just, the vibe and the energy. Because what's the point in seeing, the build and tension, but not the payoff? Reading about the build and the tension and not seeing any payoff is one thing. But, looking at it comes so close and then just not happening is, again, one of the things I have a bigger problem about with a lot of straight rom-coms. Because, 99% of the time, they build it, and then nothing happens. Granted, there's at least 2 of them I know this current season where they've actually committed to the bit. But to what extent? And does that attract me enough to want to go and watch those things? Maybe. Watch them for the channel? Probably not. Because, I know that Angel Next Door in Season 2, they committed to the bit. And I also know that, I fell in love with the second prettiest girl in class. I think they committed to the bit in that one, unless that was an AI-generated picture I saw on Facebook. But it was a spoiler for episode 10, so maybe not. I don't know. But hey, I guess on that aspect of the more straight end of rom-coms and stuff, y'all can recommend me some stuff and maybe it'll be entertaining, maybe it won't be. I don't know. But that's not the point. The point is Yuri stuff that actually commits to the bit. So preferably, if you see some Yuri stuff that I haven't, mentioned or brought up or watched on the channel before, you're more free to comment that down below, because that I'm bound to have more interest in than, your generic stuff going on. Because there's that thing I started watching in February, and then I stopped watching it once it seemed like it was going to take a dramatic turn that I really didn't give a shit enough to watch. Maybe I'll finish that next year for, February. Maybe I'll finish it later this year. I don't know, we'll see. But point is, Yuri, kissing, this is preferred to see, especially if it's in this kind of case where, I don't have to worry about any sort of moral obligations about, oh, look at these, cute girls that are gay for each other. And then some people judge me just because of the content within. It's stop judging me, man. Lick my ass. With your fucking random looking I Show Speed, Kai Cenat, Drake, Diddy, fucking people going, yeah, I don't need those fucking stickers on my TikTok. Y'all can lick my ass. I'm a viewer to a show, and I am reacting to it. Doesn't matter about any of the technicalities. Unless it's like a certain kind of show. Which I saw a post on Facebook that's still funny as shit, people believe. I'm not going to bring up the topic of what it is or the thoughts pertaining in relation to it, but it just gave instance that like Netflix might be considering doing something else in poor taste. But come on, they're not that stupid. And if they are, what fuck? But whole other conversation topic on that one. For this one, it's about, how good this show is and me searching for other Yuri stuff where they commit to the bit because there's not enough of it. And most of it that does commit to the bit usually is in shady moral high ground. But the other thing I will mention is this going to turn into a musical show too? Because, like, in the outro they had a bunch of different instruments, so, like, are they going to start performing together too? Because that'd be kind of fun. Which, speaking of gay and musical, I finally got to watch a majority of that Princess Kaguya movie on Netflix, so I will finish that later today, and maybe I will a little script for it, or just off top of the head. Because it's another one of those that kind of like dips into the weird area of how some romance, specifically a couple of Yuri type romances, have went in recent anime seasons, and I don't know. It's a good movie though. Thus far, I'm like an hour from finishing it because it's a pretty long movie. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything mentioned in the comment section down below, as well as, of course, anything else that might have gotten into your heads. Hit the like button, subscribe to the other channels in the description, ring bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, Patreon, and Twitch. And I've said multiple times, there will be exclusive stuff being uploaded to the Patreon very soon, whether or not I give, little shorts or something I upload here to give like a teaser to upload to Patreon. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, it's been the Blaze King with King's Critique. So, ta for now. Peace.